this video I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can create your own website using WordPress. So this video is going to be broken down into 4 different sections. So before we get into creating the website, there's a couple things, basic things that you need to know when it comes to setting up a website. So the first thing is you need to know about your domain name, and this is the first thing that we're going to be doing in this tutorial. So your domain name is essentially just the name of your website. So for example, Google's domain name is google.com, as you can see up here. YouTube's domain name is youtube.com. Walmart's domain name would be walmart.com, and so on and so forth. So your domain name is literally just the name of your website, and then .com, .org, .net, whatever ending you decide to go with. And once you have a domain name, you're going to need to get website hosting. So website hosting is essentially a computer that is up 24/7 that is storing all of the data and information from your website. So if you don't have web hosting, then there's really nowhere to actually store all of the data and information from your site. So whenever you go to your site, it's just going to be a completely blank page. So in order to create a fully functional website, you need a domain name, so that way users can type in your name in the URL bar and find your website. And then you need hosting, so that way you have a place where you can actually store all of your information and data from the website. So it may seem complicated at first, but it's really not. And if you follow this tutorial step by step, you're going to be good to go, and it's going to be extremely easy to get your website up and running. So after we have our domain name and our hosting, we need to install WordPress, and we can do this in one simple click, as you will see in a couple of minutes. And then after we install WordPress, we need to go ahead and begin creating our website. So once we're inside of WordPress, we can choose different themes and layouts that help us design our website faster. We can create different pages in our site, change the color schemes and things like that. We can add in logos, and we can do much more, and we're going to be covering all of that in this video. Now, one more thing before we go ahead and get started, I wanted to go over pricing. So your domain name is normally going to run you approximately $13 per year. So it's relatively cheap to go ahead and buy a domain name. And then your website hosting is normally going to be around $10 per month. However, I'm going to be showing you a way that we can go ahead and get started for less than this. So if you were to go ahead and get started based off these prices, it would cost you approximately $23 up front today. But I'm going to be showing you a way that you can start for $12 up front today. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this tutorial now. So I'm going to be going pretty slow and step by step, so that way nobody gets left behind. And if I do end up skipping something or you get lost on anything, definitely don't hesitate to leave a question in the comments and let me know what you need. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with getting our domain name and our hosting, so that way we can start actually creating our site. And HostGator is a web hosting site, and the cool thing about this is we can not only get our web hosting here, but we can also get our domain name here, so we can get everything done from one website, which makes everything super easy and super simple. Now, what we're going to do is head over here to web hosting. Now, I know that we're creating a WordPress site, so you may be asking, why aren't we going ahead with the WordPress hosting option? And that's because I feel like the WordPress hosting option adds a little bit too many extra complications that just really aren't necessary. We're going to just be going completely bare bones and keeping it as simple as possible in this tutorial. So we're going to click on web hosting right here. And then we're going to come down here, and you can see that there are 3 different plans here. Now, we're going to start off with the cheapest plan here, which is the hatchling plan. So we can see it comes with a single domain. We can have a one-click install, which is going to be a one-click WordPress install. And you can see that it also comes with a free SSL certificate, which is this HTTPS up here. So our domain is going to be secured. So we're going to go ahead and just click on buy now. And then right here, we can go ahead and enter our domain. So at this point, you just need to go ahead and decide what name you want to name your site. So in this case, I would just put in casual e-commerce. And since I already own casualecommerce.com, I'll go ahead and in this case, just pick .net. Now I would recommend normally that you go ahead and choose the .com just because that's normally most associated with people. Most people associate the .com with websites, so I would recommend getting the .com. And now we can go ahead and scroll down and you can see that it's going to suggest buying all of the other domains with the different endings. You don't need to do this, just go ahead and enter your domain and get the .com variant. And then we're going to scroll down here. Now this first option here we can see is we can add domain privacy protection. So if we uncheck this, we can actually see what it does. So we can see that if you do not have domain privacy, you can see that your information will be available online to anyone who looks up in the Whois database, looks up your domain in the Whois database. So this really isn't that big of an issue, and it isn't something you absolutely need to do. It's not really that big of a deal to have no privacy on this domain. However, if you do have the extra budget, then you can go ahead and add domain privacy protection. But for the sake of this video, we're going to go ahead and go with the cheapest possible setup that we can. So I'm going to uncheck this here. And now we can come down here to where we need to choose a hosting plan. So we can see that we already have the hatchling package type selected. So what we're going to see here is we can choose our billing cycle. Now you can see that when you sign up for more months at one time, you can see that it gives you a bulk discount. So if you were really trying to get the most bang for your buck and you plan on having your website up for a while, then you can go ahead and choose a plan that's at least the 12 or 24 month, because you will get a large discount here. As you can see, 33% off on 12 months, 24 months will give you 55% off. However, in this video, I want to show you guys how you can start your website up for as cheap as possible. So I'm going to be selecting the 1 month. And then here we can go ahead and select the username. And then we need to select a security PIN. And then we're going to scroll down here. Now, this is where you just enter your billing information, and I'm going to enter this later where it's not on the video. So once you've entered your billing information, you're going to scroll down here, and we're just going to uncheck these additional services here. We're going to uncheck site lock monitoring. We're going to uncheck site backup. There's ways you can do this for completely free within WordPress. And now we're going to go ahead and scroll down here. Now, as you can see, the amount due here is $24.63 to go ahead and get your website up and running. Now, like I said, I was going to show you a way that you can go ahead and get this started with just $12. So what we're going to do here is change the basic coupon code that's already in here. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to type in casual ecom. So CASUALECOM, and then click validate. And then once this goes ahead and activates here, you can see that we now have a $14 discount, and our first month of hosting only costs 1 cent. And we can see that now the amount due is only $12.96. So this is the cheapest way that you can go ahead and get a WordPress website started online with legitimate hosting. So what we're gonna do now is just click this button right here and then click checkout now. And when this menu comes up here to tell us about yourself, we can just go ahead and exit out. And now once we are inside here, we can go ahead and go to our